Hi guys, wee Bob here, and it's the Easter weekend. I'm not at work. I'm not back to work until Monday, and I just thought I would come out and do a vlog. I don't have any specific topic to talk about. Sorry, I need to move a wee messenger thing away again. So, just out in the garage. It's a bit windy today. I've been out shopping this morning, and I went and got a picked up a system that I hadn't intended on getting at all. It just happened to caught my eye, seen it, and I thought I would grab it while it was a good price. I felt it was a good price for what it was. So I'll show you that in a minute. But this week's been good. I've been gaming a bit. I've picked up another system as well. I was going on about collecting. I'm not a collector. I've been watching a guy called Sneztastic recently, and he's a collector, or was a collector. He did a video recently called Giving Up Retro Collecting, and you can see he did it a year ago. He gave up his channel, moved away from retro collecting. He's got quite a few subscribers, I think about 5,000 subscribers, and you can see he's a genuine guy. A bit troubled, I would say, by the lure of collecting. It's almost like an addiction, and it's the same for myself. You go and you see, like, I'll see Sonic Mega Drive game, and I just want to buy it, and it's a real tug to just go buy these things and just collect nostalgia, to bring us back to our kind of childhood days. But I'm not a collector. I don't want to go down the road of collecting. More into playing the games. I'm really interested in playing the games, and I'm quite happy playing them on emulation. I'm not too bothered about having to have the original hardware. It would be nice, but I'm not going to go out my way to buy original hardware unless it's somebody's giving it away, or I don't see me needing to go and buy a Spectrum 128K when I can do all the emulation on a computer. I might get the Spectrum next when it comes out. But I'm not interested in buying original games and spending £10, £20 getting games. No, that's not for me. What I might do with the system I've got is buy another drive thing for it. I've never actually came across them until I was watching Alan's Friday Waffles, which I see he's doing a live one tonight at 7:30. So you should check that out if you subscribe to me and you don't subscribe to Alan. Check out his channel. He's got a lot more subscribers than me, not that matters to me. It is nice to have subscribers, and I've gained, I think I've went from 10 to 13, which was nice, and it seems to be off the back of doing a response to Alan's post about a period in gaming. And I like to do VR responses, hoping to do more. Lawn Boy's post put one out about backwards compatibility, but I don't really have a lot to say about backwards compatibility. It's not something that I can really remember. I did try to remember anything that I've done with backwards compatibility, and it just doesn't. I don't remember ever it being an issue for me, so it's not something I have a great deal of words to say on that subject. So this week, like I was saying, I've been doing some gaming. This week, last week it was, I picked up a system. I seen it on Facebook. I don't know whether I've already said what that system is, but I seen on Facebook some guy was selling it. I headed out in the car after work to where he lives, and I chapped the door and I was like, "Hello, are you selling a Mini?" And the guy just kind of said no and shut the door. And I was like, "I'm sure I've got the right address here," and I checked it, and I walked around the square and I texted the guy and I was like, I think I've got the right address, I can't find your house. And the guy's like, "Oh, I'm really sorry, you were actually at my door 2 minutes ago." So it was because I said the word Mini, I didn't get the word SNES out, or Super Nintendo. It just, Mini was the first word that came to my mind. And the guy thought I was there to buy a car because his next door neighbour or somebody was selling a Mini. So it was a bit of a hiccup, but got in, the guy was at his tea, there was a bit of a rush up the stair. He showed me it working really quickly. The guy seemed genuine. I was just like, "Okay, mate, don't worry about it. We're fine. I'm needing to go anyway. I need to go back home for my own dinner." So it is and I might have already told you, but this is the SNES Mini. As I've said a minute ago when I said I was picking up. So, yeah, it's you'll have seen these online. There's plenty of YouTube videos on them. And Super Nintendo's not something I had as a kid. I may have said in previous videos, while I was doing my 4th year exams, my friend had a Super Nintendo, a game called Shadowrun, Street Fighter, and I would go around to his house during study leave, and instead of doing the studying that I'm supposed to be doing, I ended up playing Super Nintendo. So, hence why my marks weren't particularly good, and I feel really kind of hypocritical when I got into my son about studying for his exams, which are coming up soon. So yeah, Super Nintendo, and the games, I've not tried all of them yet. Zelda is the biggest one. I've been playing a lot of Zelda. I played Zelda back in the day, obviously because I didn't own the system, I couldn't play it fully. I used to watch people playing it, my friend was playing it, and I loved the open world aspect to it, the trying to find adventure, the adventure game side of it. You're trying to find a power up, or you're trying to find a pendant and a sword, or speedy boots so you can do the dash, run, attack, or the lifting glove. I'll really going through it just now. Would love to complete it. I was playing it the other night for quite a wee while, and I got to a point where I was like, I'm starting to get bored. So I gave up. But it's one of these great things that with this SNES Mini is that you can pick it up, load it up, it loads really quickly, almost instantaneously, and you're back into the game. So you can spend 5-10 minutes playing and then leave it. With Zelda it's a wee bit different because you've kind of got to do a wee bit of spending time trying to defeat the bosses, otherwise you've got to go back to your house. Try to see other games. Street Fighter, I had a wee go at that with my daughter. She was having a bit of fun playing that. So it's great having the two controllers because it's been a while. I heard before from other YouTubers about standing next to somebody, I think it was Alan again. I refer to Alan quite a lot because I was watching a lot of his videos recently, almost from the start of the Friday Waffles. I think I got through to 2015, 2016, and I've still got more to watch, but I did spend a lot of hours watching Alan's Friday Waffles from back and before. Star Fox, I played that as a kid. I was a teenager. Super Mario. Kirby, I've never really heard about Kirby until recently. And Super Ghouls and Ghosts, it's a really good game. Really difficult. As a challenge, you're trying not to get frustrated, and you realise how hard these games used to be, and the games these days aren't quite as difficult. So that was the Super Nintendo. I might talk a wee bit more about some of the games as I play them. I would like to do some gameplay, but I don't have a room to play in yet. I'm kind of sharing a TV, so waiting on the shipping coming back from Australia. It's due to arrive about the beginning of, it's the beginning of April. We'll probably get it nearer to the end of April. My computer's in there, my PlayStation VR is in there, PlayStation 4. I've got a couple of games I haven't even played, Mad Max and The Phantom Pain, which I may have mentioned before. I keep saying may have mentioned before. If you have seen it, just fast forward. But yeah, really, really happy with this. This is brilliant. I have put the Hatchet 2 thing on it, to add more games into it, for games I own previously somewhere in the loft. So Desert Strike I've added that. I've added Jungle Strike and Urban Strike. I need to download the cover art because I forgot to do that when I was doing the whole computer thing. So this kind of me talking here, it's actually quite nice when you've got something to show. I find it a bit easier, to get my words out. I find a wee bit more enthusiastic about being able to kind of trigger my mind on certain things. Shadowrun, I'm really hoping to get Shadowrun. I've got it downloaded. I don't know whether I've tried it yet. I don't think I've tried it to make sure it works. I might do that later tonight or this weekend anyway. So that's that. The other thing that I picked up, excuse me a minute, because my keys are going to fall down the back. So I went into Cash Converters today, and my eyes were drawn directly to this system. I wasn't intending on picking up this system at all, but I seen it was 24 quid for this plus a joystick. I'll show you the joystick plus a game, and it is the Sega Mega Drive. So it's in okay condition. It's not brilliant condition. There's a few scratches and things on it, but this is my nostalgic system. This system I got and I have spoke about in the past. Master System one day, and then my cousin was selling this for £60 back in the day with a game or two, and it's a bit weird, I guess. I've just paid £24 to buy this again. So the Mega Drive, I've had it set up. It is working. The aerial connector that they've given me is too large for the connection slot, and you've kind of got to hold it in place to get it to work. So I'll need to look on eBay and see if I can maybe pick up another cable, or see if I can maybe go back to the shop and see if I can get them to give me a replacement cable. I might do that if I'm back again over the weekend. It's not a big deal. I'm not planning on playing this one to death. So it did come with, and I'll just grab it. Included in the price was this guy. Apologies if the light is bad here. I'll try and get a light sorted out, but it does the job. It's just shining off my head. So yeah, it's an arcade Sega Mega Drive arcade Power Stick version 1. Now, one thing I can't remember, and I looked quickly online, is that the other one, the part 2 one, I heard something rattling, but it wasn't. It was just had my zip. The part 2 ones get 6 buttons, and I can't remember whether you need 6 buttons for particular games. I will, if I get another drive cartridge for the Mega Drive, that's the plan. I presume you can get them. That's, again, EverDrive is quite a new thing to me. I've never came across them before. But you can see that if you were to, I'll show you the game I got as well. You can see that if you were going to be sitting plugging in, plugging out, plugging in, plugging out, plugging in, plugging out games, it's going to eventually wear down the contacts inside the actual system itself. And I don't want to do that, but I do want to use it. It's there. It does save me a wee bit of issue in that RetroPie was the plan, but I could hide this inside the cabinet and have it connected up under a different input, and bypass the control input somehow. We'll see. I'm sure there must be a way of setting it up in that respect, so that I can put the arcade sticks to the Mega Drive and just use a switch or something to get them to work. Take a wee bit of research, but we'll get there. So the game I got, which I've never actually heard of, this game. It's a game, it's not in the best. It's okay. I mean, the label's fully there. Doesn't have a box. It was just in the game, but it's a game by Flying Edge Acclaim, and it's Spider-Man X-Men. It's called Spider-Man X-Men Arcades Revenge. I've never heard of this game. I had a quick look online. Seems pretty common, but it's not a game I've heard of. The artwork on it's pretty cool. Typical kind of comic book. But in terms of condition, it's okay. There was a wee smell of smoke off the console, which I wasn't overly keen on, but not enough. It'll fade. Give it a clean. As I say, it's just going to be sitting inside the arcade cabinet anyway. And if it does mean I've got to have like a flap that you bring down and bring out the joysticks to play the Mega Drive, and you can switch, and then that's what I'll make into the cabinet once I get a chance. But cabinet's going to be a year away. It's going to be about a year before I finally get round to doing the cabinet properly, or until it's actually up and running. Still got all in here to do. I don't have any plans at the moment, just trying to get financially stable again. And I don't mean buying £20 what the Super Nintendo cost me. I mean, that to do in here is going to cost me. I've got to get a hole cut through. I've got to get the wall bricked up. It's going to be 4 digits. It's going to be in the thousands or 2,000s or up to 10,000 to eventually get this place fully kitted out and fully renovated, because I need a window. So that's going to take some time. I mean, I don't have that kind of money, but I'm not a car guy. I watch Dean Thompson's videos, and he's got his lovely cars. I mean, absolutely beautiful cars. And I seen him do a video on Burnout Paradise, which I love. Burnout Paradise. If I had a car, would I use my garage? Yeah, if I had a nice car, I would probably use my garage. It was strange because when we were in Australia, we had a big, huge garage, and you actually needed it because you would get a storm warning of hail, and you would have to get the car inside, otherwise it would be hail damage potentially to the car. We'd hire cars out there, so the last thing we wanted was for hailstones to completely decimate the car, which you did see quite a lot of cars with hail damage, and also for sale, cheaper price because it had hail damage. So the garage here I'm not going to use it for a car. It might get used for some storage. We've got a bike here. I think that's my boy's friend's bike, if I've not already said that. And get some paint bins and rubbish. Still got rubbish hanging up there, which I need to get put out. Tiles for the roof, carpets, boiler, all the usual stuff. So exciting. So yeah, this eventually will be the games room, or another sitting room with the plan would be to have a big screen in here. But like I say, that's going to be a year, 2 years down the line, and if I've still got my YouTube channel, which I intend on doing, that'll be on here. You'll see the transition over time. I would like to do some time lapse footage if I remember, because I was doing under the stairs, getting some nice lighting under there last weekend, and I meant to do some kind of time lapse on that, and I forgot. So I hope to do some time lapse in here, but I will probably need to hire somebody to do the work I need done in here, because there's a crack over there that needs to get looked at, and the window, I can't do that sort of stuff. I can do woodwork and things, but not to that extent. Not still sawing a wall. I can do the electrics. Electrics my discipline, so that's not a problem. So yeah, that's the systems I've got. I've had quite a good week of playing some retro games. Sorry, I'm not allowed to call them retro games. I'm all joking. Classic game systems. It does say classic, it doesn't say retro, it says classic. So maybe Mr. Mainmeister's got a point on the word retro. So anyway guys, I think that's me went on long enough. I hope you guys have a great Easter weekend. I hope this video comes out, because I feel it's been quite a good video for me. I've been struggling, and I think I'm quite happy with the way things are turning out in life. To be fair, it's kind of coming together a bit. So hope you guys are having as good a time as I am at the moment, and I hope you have a great weekend and a great couple of weeks if you're on holiday for longer. I'm just off till Tuesday. Contractor, don't get paid if I don't go to work, so them's the breaks. Cheers guys, and we bob out.